I will fucking kill you. You're gonna send another bomb threat to my phone? I'm watching you. Get away from my car. Get away from my car. What do you not understand, you fucking?
Could 2020 really end without one last hurrah from the infamous Jessica Jonathan Yaniv Simpson? Nope, I think not. And apparently, the new year couldn't start without one either. Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, and on December 30th, Twitter lit up once again over Yaniv. Meowmix.org broke the news that there was in fact a warrant out for Yaniv's arrest. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, who on earth is this Yaniv person, then you need to head over to yanivtrial.com. You see, that's where you'll find report after report about this individual who is probably best known for being someone who identifies as a transgender woman yet sees nothing wrong with filing 16, yes, that's right, 16 human rights suits against female estheticians simply because they refused to wax Yaniv's very male genitalia. But the reports don't stop there. You see, Yaniv also has a history of being a danger to others, including assaulting two of my colleagues here at Rebel News, Kian Bexty with a swift punch to the head, and David Menzies, who was whacked with a bright pink cane that I'm still uncertain what the original purpose was for, since it clearly was not needed for Yaniv to charge at David like a bull seeing nothing but red. Now, I imagine the courts, when they have to deal with Yaniv over and over, it's like getting an unwanted gift that keeps on giving. Yet time after time, we see the courts continue to go soft on this individual. More than once, the Crown has encouraged the judge to consider the challenges that some transgender people face when deciding the best way to keep the public safe from Yaniv. But it's a new year. And maybe that will bring on a new reality for Yaniv. After all, it's going to be a lot harder for a judge to rationalize being the soft shoulder for Yaniv to fall on anymore, considering Yaniv's latest charges, 2 for public mischief and 1 for uttering threats. And not only that, it looks like Yaniv celebrated New Year's Day for those offenses by being arrested. Langley, BC RCMP confirmed with me that the warrant for Yaniv was executed on January 1st, that the warrant was unendorsed, and that Simpson was released on an undertaking with conditions. Now, we will update you on what those conditions are in a future report at yanivtrial.com. The offenses that led to Yaniv's latest arrest stemmed from an incident that occurred on October 22nd, 2019. And if you've been following some of my reports at yanivtrial.com, then you know that Yaniv was currently on probation at that date and still is today. And that one of Yaniv's conditions for that probation is to be on good behavior and keep the peace. Well, I'm no judge, I'm just a journalist, but I'm pretty sure that Yaniv breached those conditions by threatening to kill BC activist Chris Elston. Take a look.
Stop. I will fucking kill you. You're gonna send another bomb threat to my phone? I'm watching you. Get away from my car. Get away from my car. What do you not understand, you fucking? Get away from my car. You wanna call another bomb threat in? Yeah. Get away. You want to get punched, don't you? Go away. Go away from my car. I need police for Langley, please.
Yaniv threatening to hurt someone. How not surprising at all. Now, you may also know Elston, who is also known as Billboard Chris. He often holds controversial signs and protests about his concerns with gender ideology and children being perceived as being able to consent to life-altering hormone treatments. We even did a report at rebelnews.com after Chris Elston and another BC activist put up a huge I Heart J.K. Rowling billboard in Vancouver. The sign was to support the Harry Potter author, who has received some backlash for publicly expressing similar concerns as Elston's. Now, I sat down with Elston about what took place the day Yaniv threatened to take his life, and here is what he had to say.
I probably need to be careful what I say because this matters before the courts, but I was just out protesting in Walnut Grove in Langley, And Yaniv came searching for me, I guess, and first pulled up in the left-hand turn lane of the road and laid on the horn for about 20 or 30 seconds and uttered some stuff I don't even remember. Just that I was going to get arrested or something, typical Yaniv nonsense.
You get arrested in a second. Just hang on.
This is an exciting morning.
Really looking to get arrested. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And then I was, for about an hour, actually, I'd been speaking with one woman on the corner there. And then about 20 minutes later, while she was still speaking with me, Yaniv showed up behind me in the parking lot behind the subway. And that's when Yaniv uttered the threats at me and said some other nonsense, like I was sending in bomb threats and things like that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, you're no stranger to getting backlash from the signs that you have during your activism. And we're not at all surprised to see Yaniv get upset with people. But what do you think the mention of the bomb threats was about?
Oh, just uttering false threats to try to get me in trouble.
The other thing I thought was interesting, as you mentioned that before that threat was uttered, that you saw Yaniv, or you can see Yaniv's right on the cell phone and driving. I mean, totally disregarding the laws surrounding that. Now, what do you think? Is 2021 going to be a new year with new results on how Yaniv is treated in the court system?
Well, one can always hope. But, I mean, as charges keep mounting, they keep piling up, then I guess it's a matter of time before all these eventual convictions lead to possibly some jail time. Hopefully not in a woman's prison, but I guess that's what would happen.
So what do you think? Will 2021 be the new year for new justice for Yaniv, or will Yaniv just continue to get slaps on the wrist? Comment below. Drea Humphrey for Rebel News. Now, we have not one, but two costly lawsuits against Yaniv for the vicious assaults against Kian Bexty and David Menzies. Now, if you want to help us recoup some of the costs to that, please head to yanivtrial.com. We appreciate your support.